everybody, welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts. And today we're going to talk about a new to us channel that isn't new to a lot of folks, but it is still fairly new with only 32,000 followers so far. It is kind of new. And we discovered it because, well, I discovered it. I'll take the credit because I follow a lot of WWE, so that's World Wrestling Entertainment. I figure, what does that E stand for? I follow a lot of that stuff on the X, on the Twitter, on the X, and one of the people, on the Twitter. One of the peoples that I follow is a lady named Scarlett. Now, if those of you who are not involved in or pay attention to wrestling, she's the sort of manager spokesperson for this other wrestler who actually happens to be her husband in real life. Anyway, I saw one of her posts that says she and another wrestler named Shotzi do ghost investigations. So that led me to go to check out her channel. And then I told Bruce, and he went to check out her channel because I'm at work right now in another province, so we're not together. And we're going to talk about that today. So the episode that we looked at, first of all, her channel is called Chamber of Horrors, and it's Scarlett and Shotzi are the channel name. So the episode we looked at was called Things Went Too Far at, wait for it, the Clown Motel. Now, we've all heard of the Clown Motel. Everybody's heard about it because of all the different people that have investigated there. But this one, first of all, it was a little bit different. We actually got to see some of the hotel, which I thought was awesome. All we've ever seen before is that office area, gift shop area with all the clowns, like all the dolls.
Yeah, and the graveyard behind it.
And the graveyard, But that's all we've ever seen before. And because everybody just, I don't know if that's all they want to do. But these people and their group actually rented a couple of rooms as well. So they're actually investigating more than just the gift shop, which was really cool because, again, we've never seen the decor in any of these rooms before. So I thought that was really cool. Anyway, when the channel first opens up, they have a little sort of a vignette of one of the scenes later on. It's like a little preview. And so if you open up and you see that, don't think they're jumping straight into the investigation because they're not. It's a little preview and then the opening, which is very well done. A whole bunch of little shots of bits and pieces and music, and it was really well done, very professionally done. So they've obviously put some thought and some money into this. So I was really impressed with that. Now, they often will have a guest investigator. Now, I've only watched this one episode. Bruce has seen more of them, so he could tell you more. But for this particular episode was a wrestler named Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross is Scarlett's husband. So whether he wanted to be there or not, I don't know. She dragged him along. His real name is Kevin. And it was really, really cool to see his real personality, not the one that he portrays in the ring, because he's kind of an asshole as a wrestler, his character. And I hate to say this for people who are wrestling fans, but it's all make-believe. It's all acting. I mean, the wrestling part is really good. They are really fantastic athletes, but the stories and everything, it's all acting. So anyway, so he's there as Kevin, not as Karrion. So it was really cool. So it starts off in that room, the guest or the gift shop or whatever. And they're playing with an SLS. What'd you think of that?
You know my opinion on them. It's not going to change just because they're wrestlers. But, they do something different with theirs. they're really steady with it, though.
Mm-hmm. Not
They
moving
just
around all over
don't
the
quite
place.
walk around and swing it back and forth, and
True.
their movements are slow, and yeah,
Mm-hmm. Which is good,
yeah,
but it was still obviously trying to map the dolls. To
oh
me, that was
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah,
It was trying to map the dolls. A lot of the dolls, it was
yeah,
mapping. And so
yeah.
I didn't hold a lot of emphasis on that. I mean, truly,
No,
it's the
yeah,
SLS, it's mapping the damn dolls because they're all humanoid
yeah,
shaped, right? So it's kind of
yeah,
dumb. And then there was one time when Shotzi, that's the girl with the green hair, if anybody's paying attention, she was standing right next to that great big one and then wondering why it
right,
was mapping right beside her. Well, it's because it's trying to map that great big one. But
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
They came with all kinds of devices. REM pods,
yeah,
spirit boxes, the pyramid box. There was other stuff too, I think, right?
yeah, yeah.
Didn't they have like
Yeah.
some sort
They
of
have a lot of that equipment.
yeah, like I don't know
Yeah.
if they had an Ovilus or one of those machines anyway, one of those.
They have an Ovilus, but they also go on that ghost tube.
Yeah, they had the ghost tube.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
which was interesting, but we'll get there.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
they spent a good deal of time in that room, which isn't
yeah,
surprising. Everybody spends a lot of time in that room because it's
yeah,
so creepy with all the clowns. But I think that's a
yeah,
lot of what they're feeling was the creepiness was from the clowns. Then
yeah,
they go to their hotel rooms. And the first one that they show us is called Room 107. That's the number, Room 107. And underneath it, it says Fear Unlimited. Now, I don't know if all the rooms have some funky name attached to them, but this one does. And they call this the most haunted room in the hotel. Now, I don't know if
yeah,
that's true or not, because I don't know if they really got anything, but it certainly has atmosphere. The
yeah,
comforters and the bedding are all like skulls. There are big,
yeah,
horrible, awful clowns all over everything, the wallpaper. And,
yeah,
if you had a feeling that you didn't like clowns, just being in that room would make you uneasy
yeah, yeah.
because it
And
was really
that's what they're banking on, you know.
exactly, exactly. And they did a little bit of something. And no, this was interesting actually. The REM pods, they put them on the beds and stuff, and they were going nuts. Remember that? And
Yeah,
then the EMF detector, was that in this room or was that in the clown guest? I think it was in this room. Every time they would touch Shotzi or get close to Shotzi, the EMF detector was going crazy. And
yeah,
it took them a while
yeah.
to
That
figure it
was
out.
when,
And she finally debunked that it wasn't malfunctioning. It was the cell phone that she had. So they debunked
yeah,
that. That was good. I liked that. And they also did the same thing
yeah,
with the REM pods on the beds, make sure your cell phones aren't on the beds and stuff that too close because it was setting
yeah,
them off. So I really
yeah,
liked that they debunked it. They didn't just take it at face value,
yeah,
which tells me these people have been doing this for a little while, at least a little while. I
yeah.
mean, maybe not for long. I don't know how long. I'm going to have
Well,
to look into that.
Scarlett's
Hmm?
she's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it shows. It shows.
So
Because they
is
seem to,
so is Carrying Cross.
yeah.
He's been investigating for a long time.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, it's obvious they know what to do with their equipment. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They know how to hold a proper
yeah.
EVP session, that sort of thing. So I had no real niggles about much of this, really.
No, no.
So one of the things that they had with them that Kevin had, that's Carrion, that Kevin had was this little tiny clown doll. And they said supposedly it's supposed to be somebody named Pinch. That's the name of the doll.
Pinch.
And Pinch.
And it's, yeah.
And it's
And
supposed to be
it's,
like possessed, but
Shotzi's,
it's what?
Shotzi's
It's
pinch doll.
it's her personal doll.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I had the impression that it came with the building. It was part of the building. But
No,
okay.
no.
So according to them,
Yeah.
this doll was supposed to be possessed with some character, somebody named Pinch. I don't know who that is. But
Yeah.
anyway, Kevin was funny. He's got it on his shoulder and he's he's just like not giving in to a lot of the stuff the girls are doing, and that's kind of funny.
No.
And then so they're in this creepy room and the SLS on one of them is going crazy, and it really looks like there's a ghost pleasuring himself. And it's funny because Scarlett goes, "Come on, Kevin, come take a look." And he goes, "No, I'm going to pass on this one." And that made me laugh. It's like, okay. But I mean,
Yeah.
if it was trying to map something, I don't know what it would be mapping. So, and just because of the movement alone, to me, that could be something somewhat maybe authentic. Hard to know
Yeah.
because it's not a movement that you would normally see. And it was
No.
repeated several times. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That was interesting. If
No.
anybody has any ideas on that one, I would be delighted to hear it because I don't know how that would be possible
Yeah.
unless it's an overlay and faked in. But I just don't see why they would do that. That's not
No.
to say
No.
it didn't happen, but anyway,
Yeah.
that was funny. I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah.
Made me laugh. And then they are decide they're going to spend some time doing the Delco experiment. Oh no, wait a minute, not yet. No, that's a little bit later. In this room, Kevin puts on the ghost tube things, and
Yeah.
he didn't leave it on for very long. I don't think, did he?
No.
And I don't think they got much. Actually, was he the one that got the funky clown face?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I thought was really weird. I mean, we've seen this ghost tube um, goggles used many times. I've never seen that before. So I don't know if
No.
it's somehow picks up on well, I don't think it picks up on what people are saying. I don't know how that would work, but it seemed obviously very
Um,
relevant. These couple of times, these funky
yeah.
faces, these clown faces, very relevant. So that was kind of
Yeah.
weird.
What I liked about them too is every time the spirit box and stuff goes off, they don't go, oh, 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 listen to this. And if it doesn't make sense, they just ignore it. They just
Yeah,
talk all
yeah,
over it. And I have found that really refreshing.
yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
like that too. They just sort of carried on to the next thing. And the next thing is
yeah,
that they went outside to the cemetery. Now, they didn't spend very
yeah,
much time outside. I think it was quite chilly that night.
yeah,
Basically, to me, it looked like they just went out to have a look around. And they didn't really
yeah,
stay. They didn't do much, unless I'm missing something, but they didn't really stay.
no,
Yeah. So they go back to the hotel, and
mm-hmm.
they actually show the girls going into a different room at this point, which looks actually very much like a normal hotel room. It didn't have all that funky clown stuff all over the place. It was just
Yeah,
mostly a normal room. I really laughed as Kevin put on this clown mask to go in and scare the girl, and he
mm-hmm.
he had Shotzi screaming because she wasn't expecting him to sneak up behind her and tap her shoulder and see her with this mask on. So that was really funny.
Yeah,
It was good to see the
yeah,
personalities. Later, they're in that hotel room and they go into, I don't know why they decided to go into the bathroom to do this Delco experiment, which is Delco. It's the same thing as the, whatchamacallit.
Estes method.
Yes, it's the same as the Estes method. But it's called Delco, and I've heard these words interchangeable, so I guess whatever. And so it is Scarlett who puts on the ghost tube and the headphones.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she was actually just sitting there spouting out words, da, 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 as they came out. And sometimes they were quite relevant to the questions Shotzi was asking.
Right.
And sometimes
Yeah.
not so much. But for the most
Yeah.
part, it was pretty interesting, some of the stuff she was spitting out. Before she put the goggles on and everything, one of the things Shotzi said, which was quite interesting, was most people can't last more than 15 minutes with this on because it's very intense.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say that before, but she's not wrong.
No.
If you go back and look at anybody that's doing the Estes method, they don't last long. They'll 10 minutes maybe at the most. And then
Yeah.
they're taking it off because, the voices are coming fast and furious. In fact, towards the end, now Scarlett lasted quite a bit of time. And towards the end,
Yeah.
she said, when she finally took off the headset and everything, she said it felt very strange that the voices were not coming in her ears anymore. It was coming from the back of her head. So it was coming from inside her head, and that freaked her out. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they did spend quite a bit of time talking about I don't even remember now what they were talking about, like a murder. I think it was like a serial killer or a murderer or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I like them. I like them so much that I'm watching them on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So
They have several videos, quite a few actually, and a bunch of shorts.
what if you?
But this is the only one I've watched so far. Because me, I get onto YouTube and I go down rabbit holes. It takes all my time.
Yeah,
So,
but it's.
but you
I
like them.
really like the.
Who are
Yeah,
some of the other
I
guests they
really
had?
like the. Well, they had Dominic
Mysterio.
and yeah,
Okay.
Dirty Dom, and they had Otis and
Otis.
yeah, and
And you said Drew
they had
McIntyre.
Drew
Huh?
and Grayson Waller.
Oh, so these are all their guests
And
are fellow wrestlers
yeah, and some psychics.
and some psychics. Oh,
Yeah,
so if
yeah,
you're a fan of wrestling, you might want to check, and of course, you're obviously fans of the paranormal. That's why you're here. But you might want to check this channel
yeah.
out because, you get some really cool
It's
stuff
really
with it.
good.
Yeah, and you get to see the wrestlers in their true
And
self.
another thing, the WWE
Mm-hmm.
was sponsoring them for a good chunk of the time, and
Mm-hmm.
now they're making their own videos and their own productions
Oh,
and
really?
thing. Yes, yeah, yeah. They've been doing this way back since when Shotzi got pinched. She got him in Buckingham,
In England?
and yes,
Oh,
when they're at the classes of the castle.
oh, okay.
And yeah, so they did some hunting over there. So I'm
Oh,
waiting to see, yeah.
are
So
those coming out?
and yeah, they're already out. I haven't gotten them
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah,
So would you
yeah.
recommend this channel then?
Oh yes, by far.
Yeah.
And the last one I watched when I found out that WWE was funding them, and they got to keep it PG. I didn't.
Yeah.
There's no saying that this is WWE production. So
Mhm.
um,
I did see a bunch of videos that were listed on the
yeah,
WWE channel. So that made me think that, yes, that they're sponsoring them or whatever. They're helping promote the channel at least.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
And
But yes,
now
you're right. And now that they can have a bit more language now if it's not on the WWE brand, which is still interesting. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I liked the authenticity. I liked the fact that they seem to know what they're doing. And the production's very well done. At the very end of this video, and I laughed my ass off, is Scarlett and Kevin are going to bed, and she does the clap clap, turns off the lights, which was funny. The lights come back on, and she looks over at Kevin, and he's wearing the clown mask again. And she says something about, oh no, take that off, and he goes, no, and he snaps his fingers, and the lights go off, and that's it. I thought it was so funny. It was really cute. No, take it off. No. It made me laugh. So yeah, I enjoyed that one, and I am going to watch some more. I just have only so much time in the day because one of us has to work at a real job.
Yeah. And it's might as well be you.
Might as well be me.
Yeah,
Might as well be me. You get to watch all the videos. So yeah, I will obviously put a link to it so that you can see what I'm talking about and you can go. And by all means, check them out. I think it's well worth a watch. I really enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They're really good. It's professionally done.
Credits and everything.
They're not screaming like children. Everything that the REM pods are going off, and they'll say, "Oh, look at the red pods." But I really like their stuff so far.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right then, everybody. There you go. Yeah. We have a 2 thumbs up for the Chamber of Horrors by Scarlett and Shotzi, which I will link to, and you check it out and let us know what you think. That's it for today, folks. Yes. Wherever you are, we hope you have a great day, wherever you are in the great wide world.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting. Bye now.